Nestled in the coast mountains of British Columbia, just an hour outside Vancouver, Whistler is a place where alpine serenity meets timeless natural beauty. The air carries the crisp scent of pine forests, softened by the distant hush of waterfalls, and the gentle rustle of wind through towering evergreens. Beneath the peaks, the village unfolds like a painting, with its wooden lodges and winding paths offering a tranquil gateway to mountain wonders. The landscape here tells a story shaped over millennia, glaciers carving valleys, rivers weaving their way toward the Pacific, and forests rising tall and steady. Whether blanketed in soft winter snow or glistening under the bright greens of summer, Whistler's surroundings are a reminder of nature's enduring rhythm, a rhythm that calms the mind and steadies the breath. This is a place of quiet reflection as much as adventure. Beneath the grandeur of Whistler and Blackcomb mountains lies an invitation to pause, to feel the grounding strength of stone and forest, and to drift gently into a state of rest. Tonight, as we journey through Whistler's peaks and valleys, may the stillness of this mountain world guide you toward peaceful dreams. Welcome to Bedtime Travel Stories, where soothing tales and gentle narrations take you on a tranquil journey through the world's most enchanting places, right from the comfort of your bed. Unwind and travel with us as we explore the globe one story at a time, helping you relax and drift into a peaceful sleep. At the heart of Whistler lies a pedestrian village that feels more like a living painting than a resort hub. The cobblestone pathways curve gently between wooden chalets and alpine lodges, each one lit warmly against the cool mountain air. Even on the busiest of days, the pace here feels unhurried, as though the mountains themselves set the rhythm of time. The air is crisp and fresh, carrying with it the mingling scents of pine trees and fresh bread. From one corner drifts the sweetness of a bakery, offering warm pastries, while nearby the aroma of roasted coffee beans fills the evening air. In winter, that air feels sharp and invigorating, while in summer it carries the faint perfume of wildflowers from the slopes above. As twilight deepens, lanterns flicker to life along the pathways. Their glow reflects gently on windows filled with handcrafted wares, books bound in rich covers, and shelves stacked with cozy woolens. The soft chatter of visitors and locals alike blends with the gentle hum of distant music. Sometimes a violin, sometimes a soft guitar, always a melody that enhances the evening calm. The soundscape is gentle, never overwhelming. The clink of glasses from a wine bar may mingle with the faint laughter of children chasing each other in the square. In winter, the crunch of snow under boots and the swish of skis being carried across shoulders provide a seasonal rhythm. In summer, the bubbling of nearby fountains and the light strumming of street performers create a melody in perfect harmony with the surroundings. Every corner of Whistler Village seems designed to invite lingering. Wooden benches tucked beneath lanterns offer a place to pause and watch the steady flow of people pass by. Cafés serve mugs of steaming hot chocolate topped with cream, or cool glasses of crisp cider pressed from nearby orchards. These small comforts seem to carry with them the essence of the mountains themselves, nourishing, simple, and grounding. The architecture of the village blends seamlessly into its alpine backdrop. Sloping roofs, carved wooden beams, and stone fireplaces echo the rugged beauty of the peaks that rise above. Walking through the village feels as though one has stepped into a timeless setting, where the border between nature and community is blurred, each reflecting the other. Shops here are not merely places of commerce, but expressions of local character. One may find shelves filled with First Nations art, intricate carvings that tell ancient stories of the land. Another doorway may lead into a boutique, offering handmade knitwear or delicately painted ceramics. Each discovery deepens the sense that Whistler is more than a destination. It is a tapestry of traditions woven into the fabric of the mountains. As the evening grows deeper, fireplaces flicker behind lodge windows, casting golden light that spills onto the pathways. Couples walk hand in hand, their breath visible in the cool air, while groups of friends gather on patios beneath blankets, their laughter softened by the night. There is a warmth here that comes not only from fire and food, but from the shared presence of people gathered together in peace. This gentle stroll through the heart of Whistler becomes its own meditation. Step by step, the village invites the traveler to slow down, to notice the glow of light on stone, the hush of trees at the village edge, the steady rhythm of footsteps on cobblestones. It is a reminder that rest can be found not only in solitude, but also in the quiet embrace of a place built with care, surrounded by the majesty of the mountains. Rising high above the village, Whistler and Blackcomb mountains stand like timeless guardians of the valley. Their slopes sweep upward into the clouds, etched with trails that tell the story of countless journeys taken across their rugged terrain. In winter, a soft blanket of snow smooths every ridge and peak, glistening in the sunlight by day and glowing faintly under the moonlight by night. The peaks seem endless, stretching into layers of ridgelines that fade from deep green to soft blue as they retreat into the horizon. Pines cling to the slopes steadfast and silent, their branches heavy with snow or swaying lightly in the alpine breeze. Higher still, where the trees can no longer grow, the rock itself shows its strength, standing bare and resolute against the sky. For those who climb, hike, or ride the gondolas, the view unfolds into something beyond words. From above, the valley floor appears like a delicate patchwork of forests, lakes, and winding trails, all framed by mountains rising in every direction. On clear days, the horizon reaches far beyond the local peaks, stretching toward the Pacific coast and reminding travelers of the vastness of this wild land. The air here is thin and clean, carrying a cool sharpness that awakens the senses. In winter, it is filled with the muffled sound of skis gliding over powder, the distant cheer of friends on a slope, and the occasional call of a raven echoing across the peaks. In summer, it is alive with birdsong, the buzz of alpine bees and the faint gurgle of snowmelt streams making their way down to the valley. The mountains change character with each season, yet they remain constant in their majesty. Winter paints them in soft whites and silvers. Summer dresses them in deep greens and wildflower colors. Autumn cloaks them in golden hues, and spring awakens them with rushing water and renewed life. Each season brings its own beauty, its own quiet story to tell. Standing at a lookout point or gazing from the village below, one can feel the grounding energy of the peaks. Their size, their permanence, their sheer presence invites reflection. Against their backdrop, worries seem smaller, time seems slower, and the heart feels steadier. The gondolas that rise up their slopes offer more than just passage. They provide a gentle ascent into stillness. As the cabins glide smoothly above the treetops, the world below grows smaller, and a hush settles in, leaving only the grandeur of the peaks and the soft whisper of wind. It feels like a gentle reminder that elevation is not just physical, but also of the spirit. These mountains hold stories of the Squamish and Lil'wat First Nations, whose traditions and legends breathe life into the peaks and valleys. They are not merely summits of stone, but sacred places, woven into culture and memory. To look upon them is to see not only their grandeur, but also the deep history of the land. As twilight paints the sky with shades of violet and silver, the mountains take on a dreamlike glow. Their outlines blur into the darkening horizon, and stars begin to pierce the sky above. In this quiet, surrounded by the vast presence of Whistler and Blackcomb, the mind rests easily, knowing it is cradled by something far greater than itself. Just a short stroll from the heart of the village lies Lost Lake, a serene retreat embraced by tall evergreens. The lake rests quietly at the base of the mountains, its surface smooth as glass in summer, mirroring the sky above. In winter, a blanket of snow surrounds it, softening every edge until the shoreline seems to dissolve into the quiet whiteness. The path to the lake meanders gently through the forest, where sunlight filters down through branches in shifting patterns. Birds call softly from the treetops, and in the warmer months the hum of insects mingles with the gentle rustle of leaves. It feels as though the forest itself is guiding each step, slowing the pace, and inviting travelers to notice the subtleties of sound and light. Arriving at the lake shore, the world feels transformed. In summer, the water sparkles with ripples stirred by a passing breeze, while swimmers laugh softly in the distance. Families gather on the sandy shore, and kayaks slide across the calm surface. In winter, silence prevails, broken only by the sound of skis gliding along the trails that circle the lake. Lost Lake offers a sense of refuge even at its busiest times. The circle of mountains and forest around it creates a natural sanctuary, a place where time feels distant and stillness reigns. Sitting at its edge, one can watch the reflections of clouds drift lazily across the surface, as though the sky itself is floating on the water. The lake is also home to subtle treasures, In summer, wildflowers bloom along its banks, painting the edges with soft yellows, purples, and blues. Dragonflies dance across the water, and the occasional fish breaks the surface with a gentle ripple. In winter, animal tracks mark the snow, silent reminders of the hidden life that continues in the stillness of the forest. Each season brings its own gifts. Summer warmth draws people to the water's edge. Autumn cloaks the surrounding trees in a golden glow. Winter transforms it into a quiet wonderland, and spring breathes new life as the ice retreats. Always, the lake reflects the passage of time, yet remains unchanged in its essence, a place of peace, of balance, of quiet reflection. Lost Lake is more than a destination. It is a reminder of the simplicity of nature's embrace. Its presence, steady and serene, offers comfort to the restless mind. It whispers that rest is not only found in sleep, but also in the stillness of a moment held close. The forest path that leads back to the village feels different after time spent at the lake. Each step carries the calm of water and trees, the grounding energy of stillness, and the ease of breath that comes with being near something so quietly eternal. Lost Lake lingers in memory, a gentle presence carried back into the flow of daily life. Suspended high above the valley, the Peak Gondola connects Whistler and Blackcomb mountains in a journey that feels both daring and serene. Gliding smoothly across the air, the cabins carry passengers from one summit to another, offering sweeping views that seem to stretch into forever. The ride is more than a way to travel. It is an invitation to see the world from a place of weightless stillness. From the glass windows, the valley below opens like a painting. Alpine forests roll outward in waves of deep green, while rivers carve silver threads through the landscape. In winter, the scene transforms into a blanket of white, softened by the quiet contours of snow. In summer, shades of emerald and sapphire dominate, the mountains alive with color and light. The air grows quieter the farther the gondola drifts from the stations. The hum of voices softens, leaving only the whisper of wind against the cabin. Looking out, the peaks appear impossibly close, their ridgelines etched with sunlight and shadow. To be suspended here between mountain and sky is to feel the vastness of the earth and the stillness of the heavens at once. On clear days, it is possible to see the outlines of faraway glaciers glowing faintly in the distance. Their icy surfaces reflect the light like mirrors, reminders of the timeless forces that carved this valley. Below, meadows bloom in summer with wildflowers, while in winter, skiers cut graceful lines across the snow, their movements like fleeting brushstrokes on a white canvas. The cabins themselves are small sanctuaries in the sky. Some have glass floors, allowing travelers to look directly down into the depths of the valley, where forests stretch endlessly below. For others, the panoramic views from side windows are more than enough, framing every angle in quiet majesty. Inside there is little sound, only the occasional murmur of awe or the soft exhale of breath as the view unfolds. Suspension in mid-air encourages reflection. The gondola seems to glide not just across space, but across time itself, bridging the ancient and the present. The mountains, formed by fire and ice, hold a history older than memory, while the gondola represents human ingenuity, linking peaks once thought unreachable. Together they embody a balance of nature and creation. For the Squamish and Lil'wat peoples, who have called this land home since time immemorial, the mountains hold deep cultural meaning. Their stories and teachings give life to the peaks and valleys, shaping how they are seen and understood. To ride across these mountains is not only to witness their beauty, but also to acknowledge their spirit, an enduring presence that sustains all who pass through. As the gondola glides gently toward its destination, the shifting light of the mountains offers endless variation. Clouds drift across ridges, creating fleeting patterns of shadow and sun. Birds wheel silently in the sky below, their movements graceful, unhurried, timeless. The entire journey lasts only minutes, yet its stillness stretches in memory like hours. At the far station, as the cabin comes to rest, there is a subtle reluctance to leave. The ride is over, yet its calm remains, carried like a gentle rhythm within the heart. The peak-to-peak gondola is not simply a crossing, it is an experience of weightless reflection, a reminder of the serenity that exists when one floats quietly between earth and sky. Beyond the gondolas and the bustle of the village, Whistler's alpine trails stretch into a world of quiet wonder. Paths wind gently through meadows bursting with wildflowers, past crystal streams that tumble over stones, and along ridgelines where the horizon seems endless. Every step here carries a sense of discovery, each turn revealing a new vista shaped by time and nature. In summer, the trails bloom with color. Lupines, Indian paintbrush, and mountain daisies carpet the slopes, their petals swaying in the alpine breeze. The fragrance of fresh earth and flowers mixes with the crisp scent of evergreens, filling the air with a natural perfume. Butterflies drift from bloom to bloom, their delicate wings adding a touch of grace to the high mountain world. The sounds along the trails are subtle and soothing. The gurgle of streams accompanies hikers like a gentle song, while the distant cry of an eagle reminds travelers of the wildness that surrounds them. In still moments, there is only the soft crunch of footsteps on earth and stone, grounding each person in the rhythm of the path. In autumn, the trails transform once again, the meadows cloaked in shades of gold and crimson. The air grows cooler, sharper, carrying the promise of winter. Even then, the trails remain places of peace, leading into quiet valleys and forest clearings where the world feels untouched and eternal. For the Squamish and Lil'wat peoples, these mountains are more than scenery. They are living places, each valley, meadow, and peak imbued with meaning and memory. Their stories echo in the silence, reminding all who walk these paths that the land holds knowledge as well as beauty, To follow the trails is also to walk within that deeper history. The trails vary from gentle strolls to challenging ascents, yet all share the same gift: the chance to step away from noise and into stillness. Each hiker finds their own pace, some pausing often to admire the views, others moving steadily forward, yet all eventually reach a moment when the trail itself feels like a meditation. On high ridgelines, the world spreads out in all directions. Valleys stretch below like green rivers of forest, peaks rise in jagged lines against the sky, and the air feels impossibly pure. Time slows to match the rhythm of the mountains, and the worries carried up from the village seem small against the vastness of the alpine world. Wildlife too calls these trails home. Marmots whistle from rocky outcrops, their voices echoing across the slopes. Deer step lightly between trees, and black bears may be glimpsed foraging in distant meadows. These encounters remind travelers that they are guests in this mountain world, welcome so long as they tread with respect. At day's end, when the sun lowers behind the peaks and the light softens into hues of amber and rose, the alpine trails feel even more serene. Shadows lengthen across the meadows, and the last warmth of the day lingers gently in the air. The path home feels lighter, the heart steadier as the mountains share their quiet gift of reflection. Beyond the alpine trails and mountain ridges, Whistler is also home to a series of lakes that shimmer like jewels in the valley. Each one holds its own character, offering a different kind of peace and reflection. From the broad expanse of Alta Lake to the intimate charm of Green Lake, the waters of Whistler bring balance to the rugged beauty of the surrounding peaks. Alta Lake is wide and welcoming, its surface often dotted with paddleboards, canoes, and the occasional sailboat, drifting lazily in the breeze. In summer, families gather on its shores to picnic and swim, while in winter the lake becomes a frozen plain of silence, the snow muffling every sound. Sitting by its edge, one feels the steady calm of water and mountain embracing one another. Green Lake, true to its name, glows with a remarkable hue, the product of glacial silt carried into its depths. Its waters are colder, wilder, and its setting more dramatic. Surrounded by forests and open fields, it is a place where the stillness of reflection is matched by the energy of untamed beauty. The lake changes color with the light, shifting from turquoise to jade, a living canvas beneath the sky. Nita Lake offers a quieter retreat, tucked away near the edge of the valley. Its shores are embraced by trees, and the reflections on its surface seem almost to whisper with the sound of passing breezes. The lakeside lodges here are known for their cozy hospitality, where guests can sit with a warm drink, gaze across the water, and feel the gentle rhythm of the day slow into rest. In the early morning, mist often rises from the lakes, softening their outlines and blurring the horizon between water and sky. The first light of dawn glows across their surfaces, turning still ripples into paths of silver and gold. Birds skim across the water, their calls echoing softly as the new day awakens. In the evenings, the lakes mirror the sky once more, this time in shades of rose, lavender, and indigo. Their calm surfaces capture the fading glow of the sun and hold it for just a moment longer, as though reluctant to release the day into night. Standing at the shore, one feels suspended in that delicate transition, held gently by the presence of water. Each of Whistler's lakes is a sanctuary, offering peace to all who come. They are places for recreation, reflection, and quiet renewal, where the constant flow of water mirrors the steady flow of time. To rest beside them is to feel the weight of worries ease, replaced by the gentle constancy of nature's embrace. Even as the seasons turn and the lakes shift from liquid to ice, their essence remains unchanged. They are the heartbeat of the valley, quiet and enduring, sustaining both the land and the spirit of those who pause along their shores. Southwest of Whistler, the Callaghan Valley unfolds like a secret world, expansive and untouched. This broad alpine valley is framed by mountains and draped in dense forests, with rivers that sparkle as they wind through open meadows. It is a place of solitude, where silence stretches wide and the land feels vast, powerful, and timeless. In winter, the Callaghan becomes a snowy haven. Trails for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing weave gracefully through the valley, leading to viewpoints where the horizon seems endless. The snow lies deep and unbroken, muffling every sound except the rhythmic glide of skis or the crunch of snow beneath boots. The cold air carries the faint scent of pine and wood smoke, grounding each breath in the essence of winter. In summer, the valley reveals a gentler side. Wildflowers cover the meadows in splashes of color, while rivers ripple with the clarity of freshly melted snow. The sun warms the slopes, and the hum of bees joins the murmur of water as it flows steadily through the heart of the valley. The air feels soft, scented with grass and flowers, carrying the calm of open spaces. The valley holds cultural and natural significance alike. For generations, the Squamish and Lil'wat peoples have lived with and cared for this land, carrying its stories through time. To stand in the Callaghan is to feel those stories resonate, to sense the deep history beneath each tree, each river stone, and each peak that surrounds the valley. Wildlife thrives here in the quiet. Black bears forage in berry-filled meadows, while bald eagles circle high overhead, their calls echoing across the slopes. Marmots whistle from rocky outcrops, and deer step lightly through the tall grass. These encounters remind visitors that the Callaghan belongs first to nature and only second to those who pass through. At the heart of the valley lies Callaghan Lake, its deep blue waters reflecting the surrounding peaks. Canoes and kayaks slide quietly across its surface, their ripples vanishing almost as soon as they appear. The stillness of the water, broken only by the occasional bird skimming the surface, creates a profound sense of peace. The Callaghan is also a place of endurance and memory, once home to Olympic events during the Vancouver 2010 Winter Games. The trails built for the athletes now invite anyone to explore at their own pace, carrying forward the spirit of connection between people and land. Yet even with this legacy, the valley has retained its natural tranquility. As evening descends, shadows stretch across the meadows, and the last glow of the sun lingers on the snow-capped ridges. The valley grows quiet once more, settling into a deep stillness that feels eternal. The Callaghan remains, as it always has, vast, silent and enduring, a sanctuary for reflection beneath the endless sky. Whistler offers more than landscapes and trails. It also offers places to pause, rest and dream. From luxurious resorts to cozy mountain lodges, the accommodations here are as much a part of the experience as the alpine scenery itself. Each stay becomes its own story, blending comfort with the majesty of the surrounding peaks. Among the most iconic is the Fairmont Chateau Whistler, a grand retreat at the base of Blackcomb Mountain. Its stone walls and turrets resemble a castle, while inside fires crackle in hearths and soft lighting creates an atmosphere of alpine elegance. Guests step from ski runs into warmth and ease, greeted by the scent of cedarwood and the promise of quiet luxury. Nearby, the Four Seasons Resort Whistler offers a different kind of sanctuary, intimate, refined, and deeply comforting. Its wooden beams and expansive windows frame the surrounding mountains, while its spa and pools provide a place for stillness and renewal. For many, the Four Seasons embodies the art of slowing down, where the outside world feels distant and every detail speaks of care. Beyond the famous resorts, countless chalets and lodges line the village and nearby slopes. Popular rental platforms such as Airbnb and Vrbo connect travelers to cozy cabins tucked into the forest, or modern apartments overlooking the village. These stays offer a sense of home, where one can rise to the sight of snow-covered peaks or listen to rain tapping softly against wooden eaves. Mid-range hotels and family-friendly lodges also abound, each one designed to make the mountains accessible to every traveler. From boutique inns with handcrafted details to larger hotels with easy access to the slopes, there is no shortage of choice, each option carrying the same undercurrent of alpine calm. Even those on a quieter budget can find warmth and welcome here. Hostels and small inns provide simple comforts, often with shared spaces where travelers from all over the world gather to exchange stories. These places remind visitors that Whistler's heart lies not in luxury alone, but in the community and connections formed within its embrace. Every stay, whether in grandeur or simplicity, shares the same gift: the chance to wake each morning with the mountains at your doorstep, windows open to the glow of sunrise on the peaks, or to the hush of snowflakes falling gently onto rooftops. No matter the setting, Whistler's accommodations carry the spirit of the land, rooted in warmth, reflection, and the promise of peace. As night falls, these lodgings glow like lanterns in the valley. Fireplaces flicker, hot drinks steam in mugs, and soft bedding offers rest after days of exploration. In the stillness of evening, surrounded by the quiet power of the mountains, every room in Whistler becomes not just a place to stay, but a sanctuary for dreams. As day softens into evening, Whistler shifts from the stillness of the mountains to the warmth of shared tables and glowing lights. The village awakens in a different way, inviting travelers to savor flavors, gather together, and enjoy the gentle rhythm of night. Dining here is as much about atmosphere as it is about food, each meal carrying the essence of the alpine setting. Fine dining establishments highlight the richness of British Columbia's land and sea. At elegant restaurants tucked within the Fairmont Chateau Whistler or the Four Seasons Resort, guests linger over dishes crafted with local ingredients like wild salmon, foraged mushrooms, and local wines. The glow of candlelight, the scent of fresh herbs, and the quiet clink of glasses create an experience that feels timeless and refined. In the heart of the village, bistros and cafés offer cozier spaces. Here, comfort food takes center stage, steaming bowls of soup after a day on the slopes, fresh breads paired with local cheeses, and mugs of hot cocoa crowned with cream. Each bite carries a sense of home, a reminder that food can be both nourishing and restorative. Whistler is also known for its lively après-ski culture. Outdoor patios fill with the laughter of friends wrapped in blankets, heaters glowing softly against the cool night air. Glasses of craft beer from British Columbia breweries and mulled wine warmed with spices are shared beneath twinkling lights, creating moments of camaraderie that stretch long after the sun sets. For those seeking variety, the village offers tastes from around the world. Sushi bars, Italian trattorias, French-inspired cafes, and mountain steakhouses line the cobblestone streets, each one carrying its own story and style. It is possible to wander from one corner of the globe to another without ever leaving the village. As night deepens, Whistler's nightlife emerges, though always with a touch of alpine charm. Lounges glow with soft lighting, where quiet jazz or acoustic guitar sets the tone for conversation. For those who seek more energy, nightclubs pulse with music, yet even there the spirit of celebration feels welcoming, never hurried or harsh. The balance of Whistler's evenings lies in choice. One may spend the night sipping a glass of wine by a lodge fireplace, or dancing until dawn in a vibrant club. Both carry the same undercurrent of connection, the joy of sharing time with others in a setting embraced by mountains. Even for those who prefer solitude, the evenings bring peace. A quiet stroll through the softly lit village reveals glowing windows, the faint aroma of fresh bread, and the murmur of laughter carried on the night air. In this setting, the soul finds nourishment not just in food and drink, but in the gentle rhythm of life itself. As midnight approaches, the village gradually grows still again. The lanterns dim, the music fades, and the snow-covered paths return to their calm. In Whistler, even the liveliest evenings find their way back to rest, guided by the quiet embrace of the surrounding peaks. As night deepens across the valley, Whistler settles into a gentle rhythm of stillness. The lanterns of the village dim, and the peaks above glow faintly under the watchful light of the moon. Snow rests quietly on rooftops, the forest grows hushed, and even the rivers seem to slow their flow, as though the entire landscape is easing into sleep. From the windows of lodges and chalets, warm light spills outward, soft against the cool night air. Guests return from evenings of dining, their laughter softened to a murmur as doors close and fireplaces spark to life once more. Within the Fairmont Chateau Whistler, or the Four Seasons Resort, the final embers of the night flicker, while smaller inns and rental cabins tucked into the woods glow like scattered stars across the valley floor. It is here, in this harmony of grandeur and quiet, that the day comes gently to an end. The mountains stand watch, eternal and steady, while the lakes reflect the starlight above. Whistler rests, and with it, so too does the traveler, carried into dreams by the calm embrace of snow, forest, and sky. We hope you enjoyed today's serene journey and found peace in our gentle narration. Do join us next time as we make a relaxing visit to another of the world's most iconic places. Sweet dreams and safe travels until we meet again.